Welcome back, everybody, to the Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joined with me today, as always, is my co-host, Chris. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Good. I'm back in the studio. I'm back, on my usual location here, and I'm shooting on location, on the move there. So happy to be back. And as I mentioned last episode, guys, if you did tune in, so some of the audio quality was off. I kind of sounded like I was off in the distance there. I wasn't really set up in terms of the usual setup I got here on my end, but so apologies for that. But if you missed it, go back, make sure to check it out. There was actually a really great conversation we still had last episode, despite all that, despite not having the art up on the screen. So there you go. I guess, sometimes I listen back, Chris. I think we're getting pretty good at talking about comics. 65 episodes.
See how it goes.
You're not ready to commit to you're not ready to you're like, maybe.
It's always fun talking comics.
No, of course, no. But it's like, I gotta tell you, there's always some validation when I hear a comment come up about something that we critiqued something on. Oh, I like this because of this, or I liked this because I didn't like this because of that. I'm like, that's what me and Chris said. I'm like, we must know what we're talking about. No.
We're the pros.
Yeah, there you go. 65 episodes in. You gotta have learned something by now. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's just your first time checking it out. This is our weekly comic book review show where we talk about the comics that we read every week and come back here and give you guys our thoughts on it, show off some of the art, talk about what happened in the books, give you our reviews on it. We even rate the books for you. And this week, we're going to be talking about the new comics that came out for the week of February 22nd, 2023. If make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you have happened upon our shows here and aren't subscribed, or you've been watching and haven't subscribed as of yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button as well, like the video, hit the notification bell to be notified of when these videos go live for you every week. You can also follow us on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community. We put out other videos as well here on our YouTube channel. I think in the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to be having some new episodes of Cracking Packs with the Chat coming out. That's our card shows where we open up cards. I think we're going to be opening up some hockey cards soon and some Pokemon cards. So if you guys are into that, this is our hobbyist YouTube channel, affiliate of Late Night Chat Network. This is kind of where we discuss all of the things that we're interested in, like this kind of stuff. So spoiler warning, we are going to talk about what happens in the book here today, the books that we're going to be talking about here today. And, some things might get spoiled for you, and we show off some of the art sometimes. We try to stay away from big spoilers, but if so, just be forewarned. And, we're going to be talking about some comic solicitations later on in this episode as well, too. We'll be looking at the comic solicitations for May 2023, let you guys know what we're interested coming up. And I think we actually even got a piece of news, actually, this today as well. So jam-packed episode, lots of things to talk about. Chris, without further ado.
Let's talk comics.
Yeah, let's talk comics. I got a liquor drink here today. I forgot to buy beer. So it might
get salty later.
I was about to say it might be a little, a little crazier of an episode. All right, first up, we got Superman #1, guys. The first issue of the dawn of DC. This soft reboot era, of course, as always from DC. This is a new line of books coming out, and Superman #1. What did you think of this, Chris?
Well, I read this one online. I wasn't too impressed the first time kind of going over it. Thought there's a decent story built in here. I thought it's funny having Lex as being the voice inside of Superman's ear. And that's some fun stuff there. But then, before doing the show, I had the physical copy. I looked over it again, kind of just to get the gist of the story once again. And I thought the comic just looked great inside there when you look through the actual comic. I thought it was just the digital copy just didn't do it any justice.
Yeah.
I like the way they draw Superman there. He's freaking huge there when he's standing beside Lois, or when he's like Clark. I guess now nobody can figure him out, because if they do, they die or something. I know that's still in play. But yeah, just I thought it was a better comic reading it like the actual physical copy. And, the couple throwouts there when he went to LexCorp, which is now Supercorp, and they have that Superman spaceship that kind of punches. I had that toy when I was a kid. I got it summer kicking around at home. Might have to dig that out now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the art was great on this book. Like you said, like sometimes it does do it justice to actually have the physical copy in your hands over the digital stuff. But I liked this. I liked this quite a bit. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I think it was a slow start, if anything, and Superman's kind of already a harder sell for me personally. I haven't read the character in a while, so I kind of, when I saw this new relaunch as a number one, I was like, okay, I'll try this out. I like the creative team on it, and so I'm on board. So far, the story they're putting together is kind of interesting. I like the idea, like you said, of Lex in the ear, him in prison. Obviously, he's trying to, deceive him in some way, or maybe not for once,
Maybe
right?
not. Who knows?
Right. So, I mean, like, we've talked about the trope that happens a lot in comics with the guy in the ear. I mean, it is something that happens, quite often, I would say, right? But I think by the end of this, the kind of the cliffhanger that they left on with, his enemies coming for Superman now that he's actually in prison was kind of interesting. And the whole angle about where he's kind of between a rock and a hard place of like, you can step away from this organization, but then like thousands of people that work for me are going to lose their jobs and you'll look like the bad guy and all this shit. So like, he's been put in a very awkward position. Right. And I think like you did kind of get the Boy Scout kind of feel of Superman from this issue, quite honestly. Like you said, even like how big he was and how like, I mean, like he still got the Daily Planet stuff going on, but now Lois is in charge. So like it does feel like Superman. So like if this is his return to Earth and they're trying to relaunch it with this first issue, while it was a kind of a slow start and it wasn't like it kind of blew my socks off, I think it was good. So I'm gonna stick with it for now. I think I'll continue buying the issues. I don't know, if I will stick with it, buying it or not for long, but they got to really hook me, I think, within this first arc. I'll give them an arc. Like I'll give you 5 issues or whatever for a Superman story, quite frankly. So like, if they get me going in the next couple of issues, then we'll see what happens. I've read other good Superman runs before, but he's just a hard sell of a character for me sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll continue buying it, but I'll definitely continue reading it.
All right. There you go. So what'd you give this out of 5?
I'll give it a 3.75.
Yeah, you read my mind. Yeah, the art again, the art is really good on it though. Jamal Campbell, and then I think they have another artist that's going to be coming on the book soon too. Nick Dragata, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he's going to be switching off. I think with this artist on it. So if they have 2 really good artists on the book, I think that's reason alone you should check it out. But see what you guys think. Check it out. Next up, we got Immortal X-Men #1. Got my copy right here. This is the 3rd and final of the 3 miniseries, 3-issue miniseries that are spinning out of Sins of Sinister event happening with the X-Men books over at Marvel at this moment in time. And this replaced Immortal X-Men for the next couple of months, essentially. This is still written by Kieran Gillen, who writes Immortal X-Men. What do you think of this, Chris?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent issue. It's I guess it focused a lot on the White Queen, and I think it was a good step up from the last couple of these spin-offs of the Sins of Sinister. It sounds like they got the world pretty much wrapped up already here, and kind of Sinister is, I guess, regretting making all the Sinister Chimera clones because they're all kind of taken over now, and he's kind of getting stuck in the back, but he's got an ace up his sleeve. He tries some shenanigans, gets called out on it, but he has to pull out his ace to kind of keep himself alive even.
Yeah.
But what I'm even wondering if this Sinister is even Sinister, because in some of the other issues, there's that guy in the Sphere that's Sinister. Mm-hmm. Like, is he just another clone too? Like, I'm kind of getting the feeling that they're doing like the Doombot thing, but just with clones where, they're going to kill him, but he was just a clone anyways, but who knows?
I don't know. That's possible. I mean, I feel like at least the way this is written and the fact that Kieran Gillen is the one who's writing like the main event, like lead into this title. And he's the one that wrote the whole Sinister thing leading into this from Immortal X-Men. I think like, at least, like I said, the way this is written, he wants you to believe that this is Sinister in this, but he even encounters another Sinister in this that's like exactly like him. And he ends up killing him in this issue. Right. But I don't know if it's because like I already have loved the Immortal X-Men series that led into this, or just the fact that these are just more great Sinister and Emma moments, which you've gotten in the series as well. But yeah, this is easily my favorite of the 3 tie-ins, and it's
easily.
so I'm not upset by that at all, because But strangely enough, I would say that the Storm one I think was second, and then I think the Nightcrawlers one from last week was third. I would say if I had to rank.
For sure. That one was pretty weak.
Yeah, so I probably will just continue reading them, those ones online, and picking these up just because of the fact that, there's only 3 of them, so it's not like a big deal, I think, to have read them. But, this was strong. I really like this. Like you said, I think that the most entertaining part is the fact that he's being overthrown by his own fucking creations of having all these versions of himself at the council. And now they're basically, by the end of this, Emma's got him by a chain like a dog, right?
Yeah.
so I thought that was cool. I also liked how there was that whole scene, like you said, where he tried to like fuck with her and she had Mastermind making it seem making it seem like she was sleeping not in her diamond
form. Yeah.
No, that was kind of clever. I really liked that. So what did you give this one?
I'll give it a 4. It's I wish I bought it. I think I got 2 and 3 on my pull list, so I don't know how this one slipped through, but maybe I was trying to make cuts then, and I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a decent issue.
Well, I may got you on that if you want, so we'll talk later. you remind me. I might be able to pick it up for you
Sure.
I'm on the lookout as well now, thanks to a snafu of ordering there for my comic shop. I'm on the hunt for Dark Web Finale, guys. Maybe a nice viewer will send it in. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I gave this also a 4 out of 5. Good issue, good stuff. All right, yeah. Lazarus Planet Omega #1.
Oh, what did I write about this Lazarus Planet? Did I even write anything? Oh yeah, there's 2 artists credited with this one. And holy smokes, it was like night and day between these artists. Like I think the first artist in the first few pages is decent, and this was all good stuff there. This stuff with the King Bull or Bull King or Fire Bull, I'm not too big on that. Wasn't too interested in it. But if they kept the same artist that they started out with throughout the whole issue, might have kind of kept me going. But once they kind of switched to artists, I don't know, I just dropped off for me there, right there. This whole Lazarus event kind of has me uninterested. This might have been one of the only issues that had me going from this was a continuation of the Alpha. But even at the end of this, I don't even know what to say. I don't care really. And just, like I say, it just leaves me uninterested. I guess the magic is back or something. And I don't know. I think this is continuing in Batman and Robin 5 too, because there's some, at the end, Batman's got some evil grin. I think he might have the spirit of Devil Neza in him or something like that too. So,
okay, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, foreshadowing. Like I say, I'm sure there's some big things that happened in here. I think there's that Black Alice. She might have had to sacrifice herself to get all the magic back to the proper magic people, but whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll give it
another event down.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't jump on this one. That's for sure. I'd give it a 3.25. Like I say, it wasn't for me.
Right. Okay. Next up, Catwoman, 52.
Yeah. So for this Catwoman here, nice cover though. I think this kind of got knocked off my list too. So I read this one online. You basically still have Catwoman in jail, doing her thing there, trying to recruit or make friends with her cellmates, and you find out a lot of these cellmates are all ex-villains too, so you kind of find out who they are. And there's, I guess, I forgot her name, Eco something. She's the Catwoman that's out in Alleytown now, and she's trying to cut deals with all the Alleytown crime bosses, and basically by telling them that if she and Catwoman are ever in the same room, you can kill her with this dart. But of course, that'll never happen because she is Catwoman. There's some silly stuff like that going on. But the stuff with actually Selina Kyle in jail, I find interesting, and it was fun to read. And the art was decent in here. Nothing super spectacular, but still good stuff.
Yeah, no, it looks good. So what'd you give this?
I'd give it a 3.5. Nothing crazy. And once again, since I didn't buy it, I always feel a little bit bad when I don't buy the comic.
Well, yeah, you're reading it online. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not owning the physical
Yeah,
release of it, right? So, but like you said, you've been making cuts, and it seems like you've been making the right ones, right? There's been a couple I know that have slipped through the cracks, like you said, you regret not purchasing maybe
yeah,
initially, but it's gonna happen, right? You just got to kind of take your time and try to choose wisely, right? And if not, you can always pick it up somewhere down the line, right?
yeah.
It's never
That's for sure. Even like, I don't think these ones. There's nothing. This wasn't a key of any sort. It's going to be sitting in some dollar bin down the road.
exactly. So you can always revisit it if you feel the need to, right?
Yeah.
So. All right. Next up, we got Superman Space Age #3. This is the. Did you rate that? Sorry, did I hear you? What'd you give that
No,
one?
no.
Sorry, Matt.
Oh, yeah, 3.5.
Okay. Superman Space Age #3. This is the last of a 3-issue series that they've come out with. These are all like huge issues. They're all like 48 pages or 64 pages. So like, the fact that it's a 3-issue series, like each one of these, like they were charging $10 for these, and it was well worth it because in terms of the page count, once it's all collected in a hardcover, it's going to cost roughly the same, which I probably am going to double dip on. Actually, this is one that I really ended up enjoying. Yeah, this is the end of this is kind of like I've mentioned it before. This was like a Superman series that kind of focused on like alternate kind of take on his like him, becoming Superman, joining the Justice League, and essentially in this issue dealing with the fallout of Final Crisis. Not Final Crisis. Fucking Crisis on Infinite Earths, essentially, that happened. And by the end of this, spoilers, like I said, guys, I mentioned earlier. So maybe skip ahead if you don't want to hear what happens at the end of this series. He ends up dying. Like he ends up sacrificing himself to save the human race, essentially, at the end of this issue. He somehow like crystallizes like all the DNA. Like he basically takes the DNA from like all the humans on Earth, or the most people that he could possibly do, and basically put it in like a crystal of some sort. Did some shit in the Fortress of Solitude, some fucking Kryptonian science type shit, and
Well, there are crystals there.
so yeah, so he ends up having this crystal, and throughout the series, actually, well, this happened in the second issue. What's his name? Brainiac was trying to convince him that this shit was gonna happen, and that the anti-monitor dude who was from Crisis on Infinite Earths was gonna basically destroy them, and that there was nothing that the heroes could do, and they weren't going to survive this. And he's basically like, I think that you should come with me, and I'm going to find life on another planet. And then like, I have this whole idea of how you can help us, like start a new civilization there. And no, it's not with procreating with Brainiac, everybody. Like, calm down out there. but basically, like, I guess he was going to find life on another planet, and then he was going to like actually, like, he wanted him to aid him in this, and because he thinks like he's the best of them, and since he's also an alien, even though he was his enemy and that he hates him, he thinks that he would be the perfect candidate for doing something like that. So he offered him a way out, a doorway out, a passageway out of this, like an escape route of this situation, if he feels like it. And only him, he couldn't bring anybody else with him. So he kind of like used that to basically push this big crystal thing through this fucking like little hole into this other dimension thing, and he ends up getting wiped away, and like not, no longer existing, I guess, getting killed. And at the end, you basically see like a statue in memoriam to him, and you see someone dressed as Superman standing there looking at it, and somebody comments on the fact that, oh, do you like your statue or something like that, and he's like, that's not me. So like, you get the hint that it's his son, and he actually was able to survive as a result, because like Lois went through and everything else, because he ended up sacrificing himself to save everybody. But
So that's the new Earth, I guess, at the end there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, it was pretty drawn out. There was this whole like story in this issue that kind of put end cap to like this whole other story they had going on throughout this series that focused more on Batman. And in that, like, Batman gets killed. Like, he has his first, like, he has like an encounter with the Joker in this, and the cops end up like killing both of them. Like, they end up dying in like a a blaze of like gunshots and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy too. So there's some interesting things that happen in this. Like it kind of commented on like a lot of Americana throughout this, like history, like things that happen in the States. Like they would talk about some political type shit, and also some things like comments on like Batman in this is like an industrialist, like Tony Stark type of character who like has like, you know, weapons and stuff like that. Like he basically funds like the weapon industry. So yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of interesting takes and looks at things, I think, in the DC universe that's different and than you normally are used to, even with these out of continuity stories. Like Mark Russell wrote this, who I'm a big fan of. Mike Allred on art. I had a great time with this. I thought it was really good and different. And I definitely got the heart of Superman, I think. Yeah, great action scenes. Like it was a lot of fun. So definitely check this out, guys. I think the hardcover, they said at the back of the issue, comes out in May. That collects all 3 issues. Yeah, this is him with the crystal kind of flying through space at the end here and ending up getting killed here. So yeah, and there's his son, I think, at the end there, basically. And it says "Welcome to New Metropolis" on the sign in the background, right? So, yeah, fitting end. I think they got. I think it was a good characterization of Superman, and great art and good story. A lot happened in it, so I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Really solid.
Nice.
Next up, we got Blue Book #1. Not too much to say on this. I kind of took a flyer on this one. This is something I'm definitely going to probably check out, possibly in trade paperback. So I wasn't planning on originally reading this, but I read this online. And this is written by James Tynion, the 4th, and art by what's his name? Michael Avon Oeming. This is originally one of his Substack books. James Tynion is, you know, now that he's left DC, he's big writer, very popular, writes all kinds of different shit for Image, but then he was also one of the big creators that originally went over to Substack that kind of got a lot of creators to come as well after the fact. And this is a book that they did on Substack that Dark Horse Comics is now printing. And if you're into like alien stuff or like any kind of like, you know, conspiracy type stuff, like, you know, like weird, like sci-fi, like supernatural type stuff, like this is a book for you. This is all based on actual encounters. Like the first story in here, which I've read many times. I used to be really big into UFO, you know, documentaries and like books and stuff like that. So I've read a lot on UFOs and stuff when I was younger. This is the story about Benny and Barney Hill, which has been told a lot, like on TV, and there's movies about it. And so this is a pretty like famous story in that sense. But if you've never heard about it, you might get more out of this than I did. But the way it was presented and like kind of like him basically just like it seems like they're trying to reenact this as something that possibly did happen, and whether or not you believe it or not, they're kind of treating the material as such. So the way it was kind of presented was just basically like an adaptation. So I didn't get much out of this because I already know this story. That being said, it was okay. And then the second story, I guess they're going to be doing like a second backup story. It's like a 5-issue miniseries, but I think the main focus is this Barney and Betty Hill story for Aliens is some other one that's like, I don't know, some weird creature that somebody saw in Coney Island, and it was done in black and white. So like, I think it's got, hence the Blue Book thing. Blue Book was this whole thing where they had like, they cataloged all these kind of strange events and shit. The president, when I believe is when it was, he was, I think that's what I think is the Blue Book stands for. I think is basically like all kind of weird phenomena that they couldn't explain. But now we know aliens are real, everybody, if you've been watching the news. So I mean, like this might not even be shocking anymore to you. It's like, well, what kind of boring book is this? So yeah, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, like I've been in the past, I think you get something out of this. But just the way it was presented was kind of boring, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is the Coney Island story here in the back. So I don't know what other stories they plan on telling in the future issues, but we'll see. I might just read it in one chunk. I might not bother or just read it online. So I gave it a 3.5. It was okay. I thought I was going to like it a lot more because it's like stuff I'm really interested in. At least I used to be a lot, like when I was younger. But the way it was presented was pretty dull, let's say. Deceased War of the Undead Gods #6, Chris. The opposite of dull.
That's it. Some big epic battles in here. Holy moly.
Yeah. What did you think of this?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, you got Spectre and that Spectre and Mixelplix battle. I thought that was crazy in the beginning there too. But that was just more of a tease. Like
it has been.
It has been killing me with this stuff here with Lobo. But yeah, I guess I like how they try and con him into doing this too.
Yeah.
But once the story gets going again, it takes a bit to remind me what happened. But this battle here, where it starts off the comic, I thought that was just super crazy. And it seems like they both get taken off the board there too. Like at the end of that battle, they both seem, I think, out of play at least.
Yeah, that version of the Spectre, anyways, and then Leslie Tompkins or whatever her name is, Thompson, I think, is she Alfred's wife gets killed here, or transformed into one of these things, and yeah, so people are dropping, man. I mean, we only got a couple issues to go, and this is supposed to be the definitive chapter in the deceased events, right? So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it, these new gods or the villains, I guess, whoever they are, couldn't they pick better people? Like, I don't know who these new gods are, and I don't see, like, it's not that spectacular when they kind of, oh my god, it's the new undead god or something like that, and he gets killed. Oh, big deal. But I guess they're trying to make them out as big bads. And yeah, and what happens to Alfred at the end of this too? That was interesting to say the least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of their power sets and the fact that they're big legacy characters. Like, I hear what you're saying. Maybe you don't know them as well, but I mean, he's explored, like, I think a lot of street level villains and other people prior to this in his other deceased series. So I don't know. Like, I think he was searching for other places to go within the DC.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think that's why you're seeing a lot of like space shit in this, like new gods, like Oa stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think corners of the DC universe he hasn't really been able to explore. So I think that's kind of why he's been forced to kind of take the route who he's picking in this one particular, right? But yeah, pretty crazy ending here with Alfred, guys. Big spoilers here. He becomes the new Spectre. Pretty fucking crazy.
And it seems like a more like a low level Spectre. It's not like he's going freaking giant to, be like Eon or something like that. So that's kind of puts Spectre back into a more, I guess, local playing field, let's say.
I like how he still kept the stash, though. I don't know if you see any kept the Alfred mustache. You can see it clearly in the picture there. If you look, it's pretty interesting. So I mean, at least he's still rocking that stash. Yeah, I love this issue. It was a great issue, man. Like, big things always happen in this book. It seems like it was a bit of a slow start, I think, this particular one, and it's been off to the races the last few issues. I feel like it's been
yeah, that's something I want to read freaking back to back to back.
Yeah,
it really gets you going.
Yeah, absolutely. So what'd you give this one?
I'd give this a 4, easy.
Ooh, I'll give it a 4.25 this issue out of 5. Oh, yeah, great issue. All right, Thor 31. And I'm happy to say, once again, I don't know what happened. I guess he kind of had to peek his head in on his books these last 2 weeks, but Donny Cates is up in the mix in terms of the storyline on this one once again, helping out, it seems like, after, just checking in on Hulk last week or whenever we talked about that last issue. It seems like he was here in spirit in this issue once again. So I was happy to see his name on the book. And
well, I didn't even notice his name was there, but what I said, I thought this was a step up from the last issue for sure.
There you go. That's why I think.
Yeah. I know what Donny Cates does, but he does it good. He does it well. Let's see. Yeah, I thought it was a step up from the last issue. Got Thor traveling to Valhalla and Hell, and it seems like all the dead seem to be missing. And I thought the Doom tease at the end it's got me looking forward to the next issue.
Yeah.
And there's that stuff with, I guess, his daughter, or no, his sister, I guess, being aged up there, but she seems to be a little mysterious. And then they're off to the races, and just everything's good in this one. Or, well, better, let's say. I don't want to say it's all good, but
killer issue.
Better than it's been, for sure.
Killer issue after the last lackluster couple of issues, I think, with that Thanos stuff. But this was an awesome issue. And the art, the art on this issue, he destroyed it. I think it's Nick Klein who usually, he destroyed. Like, look at these spreads. Like, this was I was really happy about this issue. I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I mean, I was just because, like, I was really feeling down on this title. We both have really the last couple of issues. We're like, this is fucking boring. And this one was pretty fun, I think. And like you said, the Doom thing at the end, this moment with the bird things was cool, and then there's like a
Well, even like that hammer just acting on its own when it was, I guess, were they in hell or was somebody shows up here and the hammer just starts to try and beat him up by himself or something.
Yeah, good issue and much needed. And
definitely.
Yeah, and I think the way it ended, we'll see what happens. And here's hoping Donny Cates comes back in full force soon. But I think between this week and last week, the books that we've been feeling down on that he used to write himself, which he's now come back as co-writer, or maybe help them out maybe with some of these scripts. I don't know. He's definitely, I think, righted the ship in the sense of this and Hulk, the last issues. I think they've been
for
good.
Sure.
Yeah, they've been good. So.
Yeah, if he can't come back, if at least he can kind of get his input in there to straighten, like you say, to right the ships a bit.
Yeah. This was boring. Okay, here's a gripe though. I gotta say, stop fucking sneaking these backup stories in for an extra $1, Marvel. There's no fucking reason this issue should be $5. This is normally a $4 book.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing here to justify this price increase by giving us 8 extra pages, and not even maybe sometimes like 6 pages of a fucking backup story.
Garbage.
Nobody asked for. Like, listen, I don't mind Black Panther, but I'm not fucking reading a Black Panther comic. I'm reading a Thor comic. If he wants to come into the main storyline, bring him in the main storyline. Don't fucking give me this backup of him going to Wakanda and he's hugging a lion. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This was bullshit. And it's not just this book this week. It was a couple other ones. Like I'm like, oh, why is this issue $5 or something like that? And why is there a backup story in this book all of a sudden? 95% of these backups are garbage, and I'm sick of it. And you're charging us more money for this shit. And this is why people make cuts. Like, who can fucking who wants this story?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's one thing, like you say, Marvel hasn't been doing that so much. Like, I think DC was doing it like crazy.
Sure.
Before, and I wasn't happy about it there. A few of them have got some, I'm trying to turn them around. I think the Batman ones with Zdarsky have been decent, but relatively all of them have just been just total garbage. So I hope this isn't a new trend for Marvel to try and sneak up a buck to put in some blockbuster stories there.
I've just seen them doing it more and more. Like you said, DC was more of a culprit of that, and now it seems they started to do it on some of their titles too, but for no reason. Okay, 25th issue, okay, whatever. If you want to make it whatever, that's fine. We're used to that. But this is issue 31, and for no fucking reason, from one issue to the next, you're gonna add an extra story in.
Plus a Black Panther story. Who cares?
Yeah, it's why? So I don't know, man. And it wasn't that good of a story either. So that's why I was just okay, whatever. Anyways, what'd you give this one out of 5?
I'll give it a 4.
Same. Yeah. Good issue.
That's a hard pushing the 4. Now that you just mentioned that Black Panther story, it makes me want to knock it down.
I hear you, but I'm going to give it 4. I'm going to give it the extra bump because I think the art was really good in this issue. Yeah. And it was nice. It was nice to not have the boring story we had previous to this issue.
For sure, yeah.
It was
even with what's her name, Jane Foster in there.
Yeah, that's right. All right, next up, She-Hulk 10, Chris.
Oof. I don't know if you got the art for this one put up.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
I know. I had a feeling that the artist there just phoned this one in. I've been digging the She-Hulk stories, the art in it before, but this one, right away on that first page, come on, that's a splash page, and I don't know, looks like it was done in a coloring book, and it's basically the whole story. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, it's been like this whole arc though with this artist. This is the one where the art changed when they started telling this story of this little girl villain.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I don't like this artist at all because I've been reading this in trade, as you know, and the artist in the first trade is fantastic. This art on this recent arc, no good. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think She-Hulk deserves I guess everybody can't be top tier, but come on, let's get some people in here. But, the story itself is just basically a recap of I guess, the relationship between Jack of Hearts and She-Hulk. She's kind of going over all this stuff with Patsy Walker, Hellcat. You get to see some stuff, some of the courtroom stuff. Kind of ties up some of the stories we've read about or they've touched on earlier. She gets that Doombot to win, and I don't know, kind of just the day-to-day grind that I guess She-Hulk goes through. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest issue, and I'm not a big fan of this Jack of Hearts character. Some of the stuff was decent, but still that I don't know what that guy is, that robot there that just writes everything on his little neck board. That's always good.
Yeah, I like the Doombot too. Awesome Andy. This is the super adaptoid. Awesome Andy. Yeah, he is great.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem though. The good stuff about this issue is all kind of like the little side bits and little side quests, but the main story of this was, just not too enthralling. And big, who's this Jack of Hearts freaking dressed up like Nomad there or something? But yeah, I wasn't too keen on that, and the art just really knocked it down for me once again. So it wasn't my favorite issue, and I'd rate that. I'll give it a 3.25. Once again, no, I wasn't too pleased with this one.
Yeah. Next up, we got Local Man #1. This is a new release from Image Comics. I remember we talked about this when we were doing the previews a couple of months ago as one that might be of interest.
Yeah.
This is by co-written by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleece and drawn by Tim Seeley. This was kind of interesting. This is kind of like a superhero story that's taking place in the Image universe, and so they actually reference other Image superheroes in this, like Youngblood and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, hence the Local Man kind of name of the series. It is kind of like a grounded story that's being told as well about a superhero that I guess got kicked off of like a team like the Justice League or something, let's say, and for the sake of it, and he got kicked off of this super team for whatever reason. We really hasn't really been revealed as to what he did to get kicked off the team, but everyone fucking hates him. So he ends up going back to his like hometown where he grew up and left when he became a superhero. And all the locals fucking like just they see him and they really fucking don't like the guy, and he goes back and he's kind of like I don't know, like a lovable loser type guy. Now he goes back home. He's like living with his parents temporarily, and they're just disappointed in him because like he didn't use his powers responsibly or did a good job of like being a superhero, and his dad's just disappointed in him. So it's like shit like that. So you kind of get the grounded look of somebody who's like a fallen hero in the sense that he's not doing it any longer. No one respects him, right? And there's a whole scene where he ends up going out to the local bar here and running into a villain who tracks him down there that basically like wants to take him out because he doesn't like him, that he had some, I guess, previous beef with. And he goes to fight him and he takes him out. And then the fucking team that he used to be part of shows up and basically say that they're going to sue him for use of his powers. And like you can't use your powers anymore. Like, we're going to sue you essentially. Like you can't use the name. You can't do any of this shit. Anyways, Buddy gets found all hung up here in like a scene. If you remember, guys, if you are a 90s Image fan, this is trying to be reminiscent of that. This is a scene that's straight out of Spawn from back in the day, drawn by Todd McFarlane, where they kind of hung up one of the guys in chains. That's kind of what it's reminiscent of and reminds me of. It's kind of an homage to that, I guess. So while the grounded part didn't feel like the kind of Image era superhero thing, it is telling like a more grounded story of like a hero like from the extreme 90s. And then in the backup, you have the same artist and writer and co-writer basically doing past stories of this guy when he was on this super team in a very 90s Image extreme style. So it's kind of fun. It wasn't the best thing I think ever, but it was interesting. Whether or not I'm gonna continue with it, we'll see. If I have a big week the week it comes out next time, maybe not. But I did read this online, and it was an okay debut issue. I gave it a 3.5. But I mean, I like the concept. It's just this first issue didn't hook me necessarily, but I like the concept. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting to treat it as like the 90s Image extreme era shit was like an actual thing, and now this guy's kind of down and out, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe you can tell some interesting stories there. That's kind of what we thought the public domain shit was going to be when that came out, but it didn't turn out to be that, and that's kind of what this is, right? So I might give it another issue, we'll see. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for that one. Then you got Strange Academy Finals #4. I think I heard that this series might be ending at the 6th issue as well, possibly. This is like the second go around for it, because I think the first run lasted like 18 issues, but this was really good. Again, like always, really great art from Alberto Ramos, continuing the story of these kids, their relationships with one another in the school, the villain that's kind of been involved for the past little while. And you know, they're again, you know, the angsty kind of teenage falling out with one another and type of like, you know, I got an issue with you for this reason, while trying to learn and kind of help people and everything else that happens in a school of this nature, kind of like the X-Men or something like that. Hence the Academy stuff, but it's with Doctor Strange. So yeah, no, you know, it's good. It is enjoyable. I thought there's always some really great dialogue and art along with it. It's fun. It's a good group of new characters, which is always good. And I like these books with the schools. The whole Avengers Academy I was a big fan of. Any of these things where it's got like all the young kid kind of, you know, and a hero is trying to show them the rope type stuff. I do like that as a trope in comics. So I'll give it a 3.75. I think it was another really good, solid issue. And if it does end with issue 6 of this newly relaunch run as it being Strange Academy Finals, I wouldn't be mad at that. I think it'll make a nice collection that I'll probably end up grabbing if it ends up coming out in like a nice hardcover or something. So 3.5 out of 5. All right, Chris. Next up, we got Batman Superman World's Finest number 12. So this is one I kind of suggested maybe you check out because I think you had dropped the physical releases of this book, and I was like, Chris, if you have time, maybe check this out before we do the recording here today. What'd you think of this?
I thought this was great. They finished with that Boy Thunder storyline. That's the one that kind of threw me off.
Sure.
But this one here, I thought it was just a breath of fresh air. The art in here, like this, once again, I'm sure if I had the physical copy of this, it would look 10 times better than it did than it does online. But I thought it was just a fun story, like, you know, with kind of getting both sides of the story from Dick Grayson and Supergirl there about their date out. I guess Batman is talking to Dick Grayson, and I know that's Superman that's talking with Supergirl, and then just what happens during their date and all the hijinks that ensue. You know, like just Robin showing up to the date in his costume, I thought was hilarious. When, you know, you see all this stuff with her trying to get ready, and then, you know, she uses her vision, and then she sees Robin sitting in the restaurant in a costume.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Right here, and she goes back and changes, like spending all this time, like, you know, changing clothes. Like, well, what should I wear for her first date? And he's just sitting there as Robin. like I thought you're gonna want to make less of a scene here. Now it's just like we're two heroes eating out, and everyone's like treating them a certain way and stuff. Yeah. Like that. Right? He's like, oh, my secret identity. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Chris. I'm glad, because it was one of those things where I'm like, hey man, check this book out. You're like, what the fuck was that? No, this was a delight, man. I had a great time with the fucking book. I had so much fun reading this book. So fun.
Yeah, you would have to say this was a delight.
Yeah, it really was. And it was nice to see, like you said, after that horrible fucking last arc of this book, which totally brought it off the rails, I think, for us, because this book, this title started really strongly. I think we both really enjoyed it. And that last arc, the last few issues, was kind of a downer compared to the previous stuff. But this whole scenario with the fucking truck full of bowling balls running down the street and them having to go clean everything up, and like at the end, she's just like wants to get out of there, and he's like, I'm gonna have to go change, and then I'm like, I can't use my card, my name's on there, my secret.
I just got this. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, and she just.
Like, you know, I don't want it back-to-back issues of this, but if they revisit this story, you know, 3 or 4 issues down the road, I'm all for it.
Yeah, this was just a breath of fresh air needed issue. Like you said, I think they are changing it up with the next issue. The next issue says like Metamorpho is framed for murder or something, which, you know, who knows what that's going to be about. But I liked this, man. This was just a great issue, a return to form, I think, for this series, and a nice, really, really well done, tight one and done story. Honestly, you can't always have this tone, but I think for this issue, like you said, it was a much needed thing, and it was a delight, man. I laughed. I had a great time, and the art was good, and yeah, just great story. And I like how at the end too, like Kara is just telling Superman how she feels horrible because she has feelings about this, like she doesn't feel right about not liking him or how the date went and stuff like that. And he's like, no, that's like the most human, like that's human nature. Like you shouldn't feel bad about that at all. Like it didn't go well. What do you want, right? And fucking, Robin's just sulking. The best too is when like talks about, he's like, oh yeah, then my parents died, and then like just sit there, like she's like, what the fuck, and then he goes and tells Batman that after, he's like, or Superman, and she's like, no, Batman. He tells Batman, he's like, well, it could be because her whole planet and everyone she knows died. Did you know about that? And he's like, no.
Like, oh wow. Sounds like he's trying to use all his, his best lines there to get a reaction, and just they all fell flat.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. So what'd you give this one?
Yeah, I gotta give you even more. 4.25.
5.
Maybe if I was still reading this series, but
nothing wrong with this issue. Nothing.
Nothing wrong with it, for sure.
A delight. All right, next up, Nightwing 101. Nightwing number 101. There we go. Yeah. Now he's part of the Titans, or they will be.
Where'd I make physical copy? Here we go.
Nice cover. I like it.
Yeah. Nice cover. I've been enjoying Nightwing begrudgingly, let's say, up until now. And I don't know. I don't like this new direction that they're going with. Ooh. This isn't really a Nightwing book anymore. This should have just been. They should have saved this for Teen Titans, for the Titans comic. And I'm still not on board with the Titans becoming the new Justice League and all that sort of business. So that's kind of putting a bad taste in my mouth. And I prefer this. Bring back that Batmite or whatever. Maybe there's a part 2 in there somewhere, or the Nightmite. Sorry.
Yeah,
get this story back on track. I don't know. There's just too much going on here for a Nightwing comic. You got to punt all this story into the Titans comic, if that's ever coming out, or the new Justice League, if that's who they are.
I think it will once it comes out, and I think this is just going to be this is the setup to that series that's happening right now. I agree with you in the sense that I would rather them focus on him and Barbara, and even the dog, everything they had going on prior to this, Bite, yeah. but I agree. I don't mind the Titans for a couple of issues, but I think that hopefully he diverts all that over to that. Yeah. Which he's also writing. I think it would be too much if literally this book just became Titans all the time too. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I hear what you're saying, and I would give him a little bit of room to kind of set this up, but at least here here's hoping, because I as you know how much I love this series. I hope that this doesn't become all Titans all the time, right? Now that he's part of this team that's supposed to be like the Justice League. I think that stuff should happen over there, and his smaller kind of Bloodhaven type story should happen in this title. So, I'll allow them to set up or wrap up whatever story they're telling here. And then once Titans launches, hopefully that's kind of what happens, right? But this is okay. It was kind of weird, this whole guy they put under the rock. This is a weird story that they got going on here. I like Raven's background. I like how she's like the son of a demon and everything else. But so is this not Clayface then? This is those guys doing this at the end? Because like I
don't know who they are. I thought they were like a Clayface type person, but it doesn't seem to be Clayface.
No, Neron is the demon's name, who I guess they also know as Trigon, which is he mentions him in passing, which is of course father, right? I'm with you though. This wasn't my favorite issue. And this backup again. The fucking backups. This is a continuation of a story they written in an annual, the Nightwing annual, which was fine. I remember this was like
a 2-page backup or a 3-page backup.
Yeah,
did it really have to be there? No.
Tom Taylor didn't write it, so the art was good on it. I'll say that. But other than that, there was again, I don't care. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 3.5. I think I'm happy to see the Titans there. But now knowing that the Titans are a thing and it's all coming out, I'd rather just have that all over there.
I'll give it a 3.75. But yeah, I do think it's one of the weaker issues. In a otherwise pretty stellar series. I think we have a good time with it. So
yeah.
All right. So now I'm just gonna quickly just go through a couple of other things I read digitally this week here. Things I've been somewhat talking about on the show here that I dropped physically or didn't check out that way. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World #4. Yeah, I don't know. This issue was okay. I've really been enjoying this series more and more with each issue, but this one was just all right. I felt like basically in this issue, you kind of, now that these like ranger dicks like basically caught up to the kids now, that girl who basically I guess used to be part of this group in this post-apocalyptic world, who ran away from them and met up with this the boy here, she's been basically helped survive because he's useless. They basically catch up with them in this issue. She flees, she gets away, the boy is captured, and she doesn't go back for him. She like kind of leaves him, and then the boy kind of spouting off rules that she's kind of learned to survive in this world, basically from this group, unbeknownst to him. He says something that basically puts him in some sort of scenario where it's kind of like some sort of tournament now that he has to enter to survive. Like they're giving him a chance instead of just killing him right away, to like win some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of like, deadly not scavenger hunt, but some sort of deadly kind of scenario where it's like a Olympics of some sort. This was cool. This was kind of like when they're about to torture him. She mentioned, because they're kind of like Boy Scouts for the end of the world. This group, you get the idea from like the way they look and everything. They have all these badges for like different ways to torture people and stuff like that. So like she calls on somebody that's got like a special sort of skill. Like these are all like kind of life-threatening skills that they have badges for. Like, so like in the way of torture, like she calls one of them up there and they kind of give you a page like that. And then like this is a page where they showed like their layout of their base and stuff like that. I like when they do these kind of infographic type of pages sometimes in comics. They're fun, like sometimes just to look at all the little details like that. I never mind that. But anyways, they end up torturing him, and like I said, he spouts off this thing. Oh yeah, then you find out that they burnt up his place, his mansion that he used to live in with his parents who are dead. Their corpses were already in there, but they burnt the whole thing to the ground while they were tracking these guys after he had left that place. So he doesn't even have a place to go back to at this point, so if he wanted to. So yeah, the Apocalyptics, that's what he's in right now at the end. So we'll see how this turns out for him, but it doesn't look great. But I gave this one a 3 points. I'll say 3.5 this issue. It was fine, but I think I didn't love it as much as the subsequent issues, or the issues prior to, but it was decent. Next up, Saga 62. Still feeling down on this series ever since it came back from like being on a fucking crazy 4 years hiatus or however long this book was off the racks, but it's okay. I'm still reading it, I feel like, online out of necessity because I've invested like 50 something issues of my life into this thing over several years, right? But it's okay. In this issue, you find out like there was a way possibly they could have resurrected her dead father in this, but then the woman doesn't trust the woman. Her mother doesn't trust the woman who says that they can do this for them, and so that kind of gets tossed away, that idea of that plot. We'll see if that ever comes back up again. And then you get this whole scene with the Will, which is like my favorite character in Saga, or at least one of them, and Lion Cat and these characters, and you get to see what they're up to. Kind of just a lot of like checking in on these characters. Then her mother's reading them some book that her dead father liked, these two kids, and in the book it says the word retarded, and the kid gets offended about her using that word. He gets triggered, let's say. So maybe it's a comment on today and everything, people being very PC about it. But the reason why is because I guess he got called that and picked on as a kid, right? They use that word, so there's a comment on that, and then this guy ends up coming back into the book here from the previous half of the series, and he basically is threatening this woman. And so again, these are things you got to know if you read the series previously, but even me, I loosely remember at this point because it's been a long ass time since I read the series, right, prior to this relaunch or it coming back. I gave this a 3.5, let's say. And lastly, Punisher War Journal base number 1. This is the last of 3 one-shots they did of Punisher War Journal outside of the Punisher series, which kind of is dealing with the current status quo about Punisher. But this is basically, this particular issue was the weakest out of the bunch. Just focused on the shit that we don't like in the other series, which is, again, them kind of focusing on the past of him coming back out of the war and actually trying to become a normal person in everyday life with his wife. and how he's failing at doing that because he's the Punisher and he's scarred from war and everything else. And basically it just takes you through the day in the life of Frank Castle trying to get acclimated back into the suburbs in this issue. And by the end of it, he finds out there's some bad dudes that live in the neighborhood that are torturing people in their basement. And, you know, he does this Punisher thing and ends up taking them out. So it's very, very basic kind of storyline. Wasn't a fan of it. This is actually written by the woman that co-wrote Thor and Jane Foster series.
You do not understand these characters. Like, oh man, this whole Punisher stuff is killing me.
Torunn Grunbeck. So, guys, don't, you know, me seeing a Punisher book out there, I was like, oh, I got to read these. You know, it's Punisher. Don't do yourself a favor and don't read do yourself a favor and don't read these. They're not going to give you any additional context for what's going on in the other Punisher series, which we've been talking about. Even in that one where they do things we may not love, it's at least been interesting to talk about and a good reading experience. These one shots will not add anything. Honestly, do not read them. I read this one online. I bought the first two, and then I was like, I'm not buying this third one. I just read it online just for completionist's sake. Garbage. So don't read it. I was just like, I don't need to hear this story. I give this one a 3. It was probably my most disappointing read of the week, this one. So
this whole idea that, you know, with the Punisher, he was a happy guy, you know, like big family man, and, you know, and then when his family was killed, that's what turned him into the Punisher. You know, that was what he was. And now all these, you know, retcons or whatever you want to call them, basically they're just saying even if his wife didn't die, he was on his way to become the Punisher no matter what. You know, his family could have been right there beside him throughout this whole time, and he was just, you know, edging him that way all the way through, you know, with all these new stories that you hear about.
And I don't hate that completely in the set, but I think it's been done already before. We've heard that bit about the Punisher already before. I think other people have done it, and quite frankly, I feel like they've done it better. So, like, I'm like, why are we exploring this moment in his life, which is quite frankly one of the least interesting moments?
Yeah,
like, show him in the war. Sure.
Yeah, like, I remember like those war stories; those were fine.
Show him traumatized after the fact, but don't spend a whole issue telling me how he's like trying to acclimate himself back into the suburbs. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, is this a Punisher book or what is this? Like, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. At the end of this issue, they're like, oh, we got to make him kill somebody somehow. Like some random mobsters were like living in the neighborhood or something. Like,
yeah, of course. I think my neighbor's a mobster here. I might just go Punisher on them.
You know, so I don't know. It was just like, okay, like we had enough of this in the series we're reading right now. I'm like, I didn't need a whole one shot about literally the one moment. At least they only they only dedicate a couple of pages usually in those issues. Where those
let's take the worst part of a comic and turn that into a one shot. It's gold, Jerry, gold.
That's what they did, yeah. Ovaltine. The jars round. He's like, the cup's round. Why don't you call it round tea?
Oh man.
All right. And lastly, guys, Amazing Spider-Man number 20. This is the end of the two-parter here of the guest writer Joe Kelly and artists the Dodsons, Terry and Rachel Dodson. What do you think of this, Chris?
Oof. When I turned that first page, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is a freaking coloring book? These are guest artists.
Yeah.
Were they like, was this coming out during Christmas or something? Okay, maybe not the first page, but the second page or something like there. It's like, what the heck is this? Like, really, like this? I think it was this coming out during Christmas and they were all busy and they just, you know, they had to scribble something down and put it in, and I don't know who to blame for this. I don't know if there's like an editor that has to okay this. I blame that person, not the person that drew this. They should have sent this stuff right back to whoever this Dodson person is. Okay, those are nice rough drafts. Let's finish out the drawings.
Loose, very loose pencils. Very
loose. Like,
very
never
loose.
mind, like even just like the big panels were decent, but you know, when you have those little quarter panels or eighth panels, whatever you call them, like you didn't even draw the lines on Spider-Man. It was just like a loose, like, but anyways, besides that, once that gripe is over, I thought everything else about the comic is good. You know, all these convos between the White Rabbit and Black Cat, I thought that was all fun stuff. Just all the conversations in general were good.
Yeah.
And you know, in the last few pages, I guess the artist stepped up for like the last 3 or 4 pages where I guess stuff went down.
Money shots.
Basically, that saved this whole comic.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with you 100% on the art. I actually called it out on the last issue, but the last issue a couple weeks ago was actually even better than this one in terms of the art, but it got even looser in this issue. But I did, if you recall, I did mention I didn't like how it was pretty loose in various spots in the last one. I mean, I wish I liked this better, this issue, like in concept, the concept of it was fun, but I don't, like I said, I didn't love the storylines, like the specific to this two-parter so much, but I think the dialogue was really fun. Like you said, a lot of the talking moments between all the characters were fun. Some of the ideas were fun, but the story itself I thought was like weak. And
like ideally they should have wiped out these people. Like these aren't super villains or anything, so they got some superpower. Like they got some powered up costumes. They wouldn't know how to freaking wield any of this power. They just wiped them out quick.
Yeah,
I think there's a swerve at the end here too, but we can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, well, now he made him admit that he's always going to be in love with Mary Jane, and it looks like they're able to finally move on with their relationship. As I mentioned in that last page, there she was giving them they smooch there at the end, which is I guess a big deal because now it's like they're officially an item. I feel like so, because now they're kind of finally admitting that. That he's like, we got to move. This is the only way we're going to move past this and actually start dating. So I'm excited for that, to explore that, because I think this has been a long fucking time coming. Like enough of this cock teasing of him and the Black Cat, like let these guys out.
I'm down for a good run with them together.
It's not going to last. We all know that, but I mean,
exactly. I think the way it's going to play out is she's going to realize that he really does love him, and he's going to, or that he really does love Mary Jane, and somehow they're going to get back together. But sure. I'll enjoy the time with Black Cat for what it is, and it's fun and it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. But the art, lose. I gotta say, I can't say that enough on this one. Yeah. So what'd you give this one?
Man, I don't want to, but I'm giving it a 3.25. Like if that just killed me like this, like if it wasn't for those last 3 pages, that pushed up to a 3.5. Like the story itself is good, but everything else, what are you phoning this stuff in for? Come on. You're a guest artist. You had time to plan for this.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to also give it that. Yeah, I like I said, I should have liked this a lot better. Like it had all the elements of something I would like. This artist is good, but this was not his best work. Like you said, this was a rush hack job. It seemed like that he fucking just put out the door. Like I can show you some of this guy's art.
And I'm sure it's great. Like to say, like I read this, like when I was writing my notes, I wrote the notes for She-Hulk after this. And basically the first line of She-Hulk was another one that was phoned in. And this one I thought was phoned in.
Yeah.
Like I say, maybe this stuff was all drawn around Christmas and, they had a Christmas party to go to. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
But still the story, what's going on there. Yeah. I'm wondering if, anyways, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Because I guess they're getting into that in the next issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're back to the main.
Maybe Spider-Man got zapped for a year with that Fantastic Four thing. Who knows? Because that's why he didn't like it. He was on the outs with Fantastic Four. He's on the outs with all his friends because maybe he disappeared for a year and nobody knew where he went.
That is the connection, because like they were very similar, these two things. And that would also explain if somehow time did move differently where he zapped them too.
That's why Mary Jane's got like a 6-year-old kid or something. Or maybe he was gone even longer because
That's what I mean.
I don't know.
You might be onto something there. You might be
thinking aloud.
Yeah, you might be onto something. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for the books we want to talk about this week. We're going to now look into the solicitations for May 2023. We're just going to do the Marvel DC here. And then if there's any other publisher stuff I come across that we want to mention next week, we can do that then. But we'll just go over these two main publishers here because that's the bulk of what we talk about.
For this.
What's that?
Going to reload here for this. Oops.
Yeah, no worries, man. Let me see here.
Christ.
I should reload. All right, here we go. I still got a little bit. This is a strong drink I made. All right. Okay, let me just see here. All right. You can see it?
Yep.
Okay. So once again, shout out to comicreleases.com. This is where we pull the solicits from. They do a good service of cataloging all the solicits here on their website, as well as give you week-to-week updates on the release dates of all these things that come out, all the collected editions here.
Do they do image solicitations, or
They do, yeah.
or they just come out later or something?
No, they're on here. Like I said, that's why I said maybe we could talk about it next week. We'll see how we do on time here, but because there is the image, always has some interesting stuff in it too that we could talk about. But a lot of the stuff too that I haven't bothered looking at it in the past, just because it's not a lot of new series every month, right? So like a lot of the things you'll already kind of know where we're at in terms of picking them up, right? But anyways, next up here we got first up here we got Avengers #1, Jed MacKay's run. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Look at some of the covers here. Yeah, we're grabbing this. Excited for this.
Jed MacKay's Canadian. He's from Halifax.
That's right. Yeah. Did you not know that, or?
No, I just read that today, and there's some article from CBC about this.
Yes. Yeah. No, he is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some nice covers. I might just get the regular cover, but this
I think go with cover. That was not a bad one, Vision there, but pretty good too.
Avengers Fastmail, no. Iron Man Fastmail, no. Facility, whatever the fuck you say it. Planet of the Apes 2, no. I think we're passing on those ones. Chris, are you re-entering the Edge of the Spider-Verse?
I'm getting that the dinosaurs there for sure.
That is pretty.
I don't know if I'm re-entering, but I'm getting those 2 dinosaurs fighting.
Yeah, so this is a 4-issue miniseries this time, and it looks like they're going into the other Edge of the Spider-Verse in this one. There you go, Venomsaurus. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, getting that one for sure.
Edge of the Spider-Verse #2.
But like, are all 4 coming out this month or something?
I think they're double shipping them, so yeah, probably it'll come out within 2 months. There's 2 issues, 1 and 2 are solicited for May.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting the whole series, but definitely that first one.
Miracle Man. I think I fell off reading this. I was reading it online previously. I might revisit it when it's collected, but so no, I would say on this one. Silk, 1 of 5. Any interest in this, Chris?
No.
Yeah.
I think that Miracle Man's been a bust, though. I haven't heard much hype about that.
No. Silk, she has her fans. I'm not a huge fan of Silk, although I will say the last issue, like we talked about, was her favorite of the week last week, where they focused on her. She had a big part in Spider-Man, the Dan Slott series, who basically created her right this past week.
Yeah.
So check that out if you're a Silk fan. Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis #1 of 5.
No, I'm not getting sucked into this one.
No. Looks like we got
I think you got a Carnage 2099. That's the big deal in this one.
So all 5 issues, a weekly event throughout May.
Oh, fuck no.
So yeah, weekly event. Carnage Reigns Alpha #1. No. Miles Morales Spider-Man #6. I'll continue reading this online for now. I liked this. This was good. The first couple of issues.
That's not a bad cover.
It's like, I guess the Carnage Reigns is going to be going. Oh, this is part 2.
Well, I guess, or yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I won't check this out. I don't know if this is like some Carnage event. I probably won't read that, but yeah, that's Miles Morales has been good. Carnage 13, Extreme Venomverse. Any interest in that? No. Is this the event of the summer? This one is this one or?
No, I don't think so. I think that's the Summer of Symbiotes or something.
Yeah, two issues come out of 5 this month too. Wow, they're really fucking putting them out there this month.
Yeah.
Cool covers for this though. That's an interesting look one. Peach Momoko. Yeah, some good looking.
Maybe.
That's a cool one. Then we got Storm 1 of 5. No, not a huge Storm fan, but that's cool. She's getting a miniseries. Chris, any interest?
No.
More Demon Wars. Looks like that's continuing with the one shot. Scarlet Sin. No surprise there. Peach Momoko has a lot of fans. Groot 1 of 4 miniseries. No. But Dan Abnett writing it, who basically created the version that everyone likes of Guardians. To him and his brother Andy Lanning, or writing partner, not related, but they always used to write that shit together. Warlock Rebirth, no. Guardians.
There'll be some good stuff going on that Warlock Rebirth, though. There's like an Eve Warlock or something. I guess there she is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Ron Mars and Ron Lim who worked on this, like the Silver Surfer and stuff like that, like Infinity. Like this is like this is one of those old teams working on a new book.
Yeah.
Doing lately.
But still in the old time though. Like they gotta come up with something that's present.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, like a lot of people I think are liking this throwback stuff. They keep putting it out. I mean, like, look, you got Gamora, the old Gamora, Pip, Janice Vell, Doctor Strange. Like, I like all that stuff, man. And Ron Lim's drawing it. Like, he drew half of Infinity Gauntlet, guys. Don't forget. He took over for George Perez after he left the book. Guardians of the Galaxy #2. No. Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider. Oh, this is some people's favorite Ghost Rider. How about this? Interested in this?
No.
Again, this is Howard Mackie writing it, who used to write him in the 90s. So there you go, guys. There's another one of those series. This I'm actually gonna pick up. I'm excited for it.
I think I might get this too.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's cool. And it looks like they're gonna actually have the current Fury Jr. investigating into stuff from his father's past. So there's going to be some scenes of like old school Nick Fury in this, which is really what's got me interested in this. I'm excited for this release. So yeah, I'm glad to hear you're on board too. Well, this is a one shot, but this sounds like it's going to be good though. Like, hopefully we'll see if it can spark up some more Nick Fury stuff. I'm always here for that. I like Nick Fury a lot. So Daredevil and Echo, 1 of 4. This is your boy Phil Noto on art, Chris.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Echo.
Yeah.
I don't know much about her, but nothing's really pulled me into.
This is written by the guy who's been getting a lot of work lately. Maybe he's doing a good job. Buddy from Black Eyed Peas, Taboo.
Oh, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, I probably won't check that out, but I like Phil Noto, though. Amazing Spider-Man, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Look here. Oh, we got the Disney covers now, guys. There we go.
Yay.
Then you got this one. I like it. I always love a monitor.
Nice cover.
Yeah, I always love a cover where they shows people in the monitors and stuff like that, right? So
that's a variant cover there.
That's the main cover of this one.
Oh, perfect, beautiful.
Yeah, yep,
I love it.
Red Goblin 4. No, are you gonna be reading this Hallows Eve, Chris?
I think I got the first one because it's an art germ.
Okay,
I'll see how it goes. I might read the rest online.
Okay, Spider-Man #8. Yes, I'm still in.
Yeah. Ooh. That's the Deadpool.
Yeah, it's a Deadpool variant, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I'm definitely getting. Yeah, I'll continue with this. That last issue reinvigorated my appreciation of the. Spider-Man.
It's by Rob Liefeld. Everyone, there you go.
Ooh. Gotta have him sideways to get that giant chest, but. I see another one of those.
Yeah. Oh yes, I've heard about this. Yeah, he did a new one. I heard. Yeah, Venom Lethal Protector #3. No. That's a cool cover though. That's like the that's the Shield Nick Fury kind of homage like cover right there. That's really cool actually. I like that. That's a nice cover. Oh yeah, see Shield. It says right here. Shield's in this issue. Nice. Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #3 of 5. No. Venom. Are you sticking with this, Chris? What are you doing?
I think I'm dropping this.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Cult of Carnage, Misery 105. No idea what this is, but
yeah, I know.
Carnage with titties. There you go. X-Men Before the Fall, Sons of X #1. No, it's a one shot. Looks like you said yes.
Yeah, it's probably that fall of the we'll see.
Phil Noto's drawing this one too, Chris.
Yeah, I'll probably take that one for sure then.
X-Men Red 11. Now this is them coming back to the series after the miniseries, guys. So they're coming back now. I guess this one then, the Before the Fall, is going to be the wrap up of that Legion of X or whatever, because it's written by the same guy. So that's probably what that is. But it also says a Battle of the Titans of the X universe. So I don't know. That seems like some big doings happening in that. X-Men Red 11.
I'll probably read it, but I don't think I'll be buying it.
X-Men Red, yeah.
Yeah.
Immortal X-Men 11. Yes, I'll be picking up that. Nice cover. Yeah. Mark Brooks has been doing a good job on those. Wolverine 33. You gonna continue reading this one, Chris? Or
I'll definitely continue reading this as long as you got this Beast stuff going on, which looks like it's still going on.
Yeah, it is.
Not a bad cover either.
X-Force 40. No. X-Men 22. Yeah, MODOK. There he is. Yes, definitely picking this up. You too?
For sure.
Bishop, War College, no. Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, actually came out this week, the first issue.
Yeah, no.
X-23, Deadly Regenesis, no. I like her though. She is a good character. New Mutants Lethal Legion #3, no.
No.
Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah.
I might read this online. I haven't decided yet, but I might read this online. I like Rogue. I just don't love Gambit.
Yeah, like they really.
and I like the team on the book. So it's hard for I don't know.
Maybe I'll give it a read.
I might read it online. The Excellent, again, I might read this online. I was picking up the issues before, but I pick up the trades now, so I might read this digitally. I always enjoy that. Doctor Strange 3, yes. Look at that cover. Nice cover. I like that one. Yes, Doctor Strange 3, I'm picking that up. This has apparently been very good. Again, this is one of those throwback books, Avengers War Across Time. It's with a 90s team, but apparently it's been a hell of a lot of fun. This is like a Kang story. Apparently it's really fun, I've heard. I might check that out. But that's the last issue coming out this month. Avengers Beyond number 3, no.
I might read it. I got to see what's going on with the Beyonder there.
What the fuck?
We'll get some homage cover, or not homage, but there's some variant covers there with everybody being bit by Spider-Man or something.
Right. Scarlet Witch 5, no, I think I'm done with this after the last issue. But like, man, Russell Dowderman's on art now. He used to be doing Thor with Jason Aaron that art. They've been putting.
Oh, there's like the artist of the comic.
Yeah,
oof.
He's really fucking good.
He's good.
They've been putting.
Why are they putting him on this garbage?
I know, that's what I'm saying. They've been really pushing for this book. They've been putting good artists on this book. Jesus, yeah, I like Russell Dodderman a lot, but
for sure.
Yeah, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty 12, no. Captain America, Symbol of Truth, no. Hellcat, I might rereading this online. I liked her in. It's written by the same guy, Christopher Canwell, that wrote her in that Iron Man run, so I might check this out. Maybe. Invincible Iron Man number 6. Yes, I'm continuing to read this digitally. I've been enjoying this. Are you out on Iron Man, or?
I'll probably read it online, but
same with FF. I'm still reading this online. Looks like Doom's in this issue, possibly. Okay.
Now what issue is this? 7 or?
Oh, this is the 700th issue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna pick this one up.
Yeah.
Maybe the one before this too, just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. I Am Iron Man. No. Clobbering Time. Yes. This looks so much fun. Doctor Strange is in this issue. Yes. I know you didn't, Chris. I'll let you know when it comes out. You may want to check this out online.
I'll probably read it online and just see what's going on.
It seems like it's going to be fun. Moon Knight 23. No, looks like Venom is in this issue too. There you go. Dylan Brock. Yeah, I've been reading this in trade though. It's been good. This is our boy Jed McKay, the Canadian. Cosmic Ghost Rider number 3. No. Ghost Rider 14. No. She-Hulk 13. You're sticking with this? Oh, there's Patsy.
Oh, we'll see. These covers get me though.
Yeah, they're nice. Jen Bartel, the one does these covers, really good. Joe Fixit number 5. This is another one of those throwback series. This is ending. This is the last issue this month. I heard this is actually really good too, so I might have to check this out after the fact because I've heard it's been a lot of fun. Hulk Annual number 1. No, I'm not fucking getting this annual. I'm out on the annual because it's.
I think they got to write about it, but I don't think I'll be buying it either.
I think it says that. Yeah, maybe I'll read online, but they said this is basically setting up the future. So this is now after they wrap up the Hulk series that's been co-written by Donny Cates at this point. They're going to be putting out this annual. So this is going to be some fucking new team, some stock story they had probably in the drawer. So no, I'm good on that. Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, no.
Oh.
Silver Surfer, Ghost Light, no. Captain Marvel, are you out on this in physical or what? You going to continue reading this? This is after the Brood, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'll probably just be reading this online. I don't think I'm buying them anymore.
The final issue of Punisher No More. Doesn't look good for him.
Doesn't look good.
Fucking looks like Hellraiser here. What's going on?
I'll be buying this one, finish off that series, and see what they do to him.
Absolutely. I'm on board for that too. Thor 34. Oh, no. Thanos is back. Dude, all of them. Donny Cates' name nowhere to be found. Thor, Dr. Doom, and Thanos. Well, it better be exciting. I mean, I'm picking it up. I'm still sticking.
Well, I'm picking it up, but I don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah, Deadpool.
No.
Daredevil 11. Yes, look at this cover. Look at this cover, and look at this cover. Which one, Chris?
Oh, man.
I know. That's hard. I might have to go with the Elektra, to be honest with you.
Who does the Elektra cover?
That's it's your boy, Derek Chu.
Derek Chu does some good covers.
Yeah. I might have to pick that up. But this
Well,
is
that's a nice Daredevil cover,
it
though.
is. I know. I'm torn on that one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we're definitely picking that up. Predator number 3, no. Alien 2 and 9. I think this is the part of the thing we can just check out at. This is all Star Wars books. Yeah, we're done. All right. Now over to DC.
Hey, they got no more of the Alex Ross cover, so that's good.
Yeah, the Alex.
This is for me, right?
Yeah, this is for me. Alex Ross gimmick month is over. Yeah.
I'm burned on that.
Oh, did you picked up a lot of those?
Yeah. Well, I cut him down a bit, but
yeah,
there's still some good. Like, I think I got Scarlet Witch because he got the Magneto Alex Ross. He does good old men.
Yeah, he does. Yes. Did you see the Vulture one? Did you pick that up? The Vulture one.
I think I passed on that one. I'm not a big fan. Well, I like the Vulture, but I don't need an Alex Ross cover of him.
Yeah, no, fair, but it looked good, is what I'm saying. Yeah. A good Kang. All right, this is DC now. Site if it doesn't freeze up here. There we go. Okay. All right, Titans 1. Yes. Yeah, I'll be picking this up. Yeah, that's the covers. Nothing too crazy.
Maybe.
Shazam number 1. Yes. I'll be checking this up. Are you picking this up, or are you just going to be reading it, or what are you doing?
I don't know. See what's going on with Shazam.
This is a good team on this. Mark Waid, who, again, the aforementioned World's Finest, he writes that series, and Dan Mora, who is the great artist that he had for majority of that series. Same team. So this looks good. I'm on board. I like Shazam, and this is, I think, with the family as well. I mean, it sounds super fun. Like, listen to this: Dinosaurs from Space, The Clubhouse of Eternity, Homicidal Worms and Talking Tigers, Atomic Robots, Alien World, Mad Scientists, Sinister Curses, and Villains from throughout the DC universe. Yeah, I'm on board. That sounds fun. Green Lantern number 1. No, I just don't know the team on here, and I'm not a Green Lantern fan. Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
We don't have this up on screen, just so you know.
What's that?
You don't have this up on screen.
Oh, my bad. Shit. Should have given me a quicker heads up there. Hold on.
Well, I thought you were just talking about stuff that you start going on. Oops.
Yeah. Okay, so here, guys, this is Titans number 1. Quickly, the covers. Okay. You can see it now?
Yeah.
All right, Shazam 1. That one's really cool.
That one's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll give Shazam a chance.
Yeah. Let's do it, because it's fairly new to me too in that sense. But I like the people on it, and it sounds fun. So, Green Lantern number 1, Batman the Brave and the Bold number 1. I'm picking up this initial issue. I don't know if I'm all in on the series, but the teams on this, because this is going to be an anthology series, and I'm not huge on anthologies, but the teams, as always, as they usually do with these types of books, on this first issue out the gate are really good. I like a lot of the artists and a lot of the writers on this one. So I'm going to
probably one shot, or is this a new series?
I think it's a new series. So this is a 64-page issue anthology series. It is $8 an issue. So if I don't pick it up in physical release, I might just read it online, or I might just cherry pick issues that sound interesting to me. Because like the team on this one, whoa, that's a nice cover. The team on this one, the writers involved all are pretty decent, and so are the artists. So like I have hope for this. Like, which ones are they focusing on here? Okay, so one of them's a Wildstorm story. One of them's a Joker Batman one of things like it's one of them's a Batman Black and White short story, and another one is Superman story. Yeah, maybe. I know Brave. I think you're gonna try for this, because Brave and the Bold is like a legacy type series, like that's been around a long time. So I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna be a game time decision, I think, for me.
Yeah.
What happened here? Froze. Sorry. Cyborg number 1. No, I think I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it froze here. Okay. So no to Cyborg #1. What else we got here? Spirit World #1. I don't even know what that is.
No.
No. City Boy #1. No. The Vigil #1. No. They think they're just starting like some new characters.
Yeah.
Not really interested in those. Batman 135/900. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely got that Artgerm cover.
This one?
No, yeah, this one there for sure.
Yeah, some nice covers. That's interesting. Whoa.
Ooh, a lot of good covers here.
Yeah. Yeah, Bermejo. Yeah, some good covers on that. So yeah, definitely going to continue with that. Power Girl Special #1. I like the team on this. I might read this online. It's a one shot. Oh, nice cover.
I don't know if that's not a ratio variant. I can't let my boys down at the LCS. And
ooh, it's Amanda Connor cover too. Oh, she's great. Oh, there's some good ones here. Yeah. I think this is their cover right here, Chris. Is that you got to go for on this one?
Yeah,
it's the Artgerm one, and it's not a one out of
yeah.
That's a basic cover right there. So
I think that was coming down.
Yeah, Green Arrow #2. I might be reading this online digitally. It's a mini series. Might check it out. I do like Green Arrow. Nightwing 104. Yes.
See what's going on these covers. If there's any indication of what's happening.
Titans.
No, it's 104. We're only at 101. I'll probably be buying it still.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Nightwing.
Superman #4. Probably going to be picking it up still. We'll see. Livewire. Depends on the next couple of issues.
Yeah.
So we'll say maybe for now. Well, I'll read it online if not.
Yeah, definitely read it online.
Action Comics. No. Are you reading this?
Falling off then.
Okay. Adventures of Superman, John Kent. No. Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow #2. No. Unstoppable Doom Patrol. I'm probably going to be checking this out online. I do like the Doom Patrol. So yes to that in that sense. Harley Quinn 30. Yes.
Yeah. Follow this up through still.
Yeah. What else we got here? New Talent Showcase. No. Static Shadows of Dakota. No. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker. The new miniseries.
Oh, that's the Sean Murphy thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like his these Jokers. I mean his corner of the universe, the Batman White Knight stuff. So definitely checking that out. This I'm definitely checking out. I don't know if I'm reading it, but after watching that fucking Peacemaker show, the writer who's writing this writes comedy really well. So if I don't pick this up physically, I'm definitely gonna be reading this online. This sounds really like it's gonna be really good. So I'm in. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I want to see Peacemaker inserted into like the Marvel or the DC universe proper.
Yeah, look at this. Peacemaker tries hard. That's the name of the series. Yeah. I'm in. Yeah, this looks good to me. I'm down. I probably will even pick it up, to be honest. Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum #1. No. Sandman Universe. No. Nightmare County Glass House. Batman and the Joker Deadly Duo #7. Yes, this is the last issue.
Yeah, I'll read it, but no point getting it on now.
Yeah. It's been a great series. Batgirls 18, no. Batman Facsimile, no. Batman Incorporated, no. Batman The Adventures Continue, no. Batman Superman World's Finest 15, yes.
Oof.
I don't know what's going on. Cover. The Rise of Ultra Morpho is what it says here in the description. I don't know what's going on with that, but Black Adam 11, no. Catwoman 55. Are you going to continue reading this online, or
I don't know if I've got them on some pull lists or not.
Nice covers.
Yeah.
Is that 2 Catwomans now?
Well, because you have that one Catwoman that's kind of taken over while Selena Kyle's in jail.
Oh, right. Yeah, some good.
We'll see.
Thank show. Dangerous Street 6. No, that's a funny looking cover though. I'll pick this up and trade when it gets collected. Dark Knights of Steel 11. Yes.
Finally, let's go.
I know. Fucking
only 11. Come on, like this is May.
I know. 11
nice
and 12. Yeah, nice covers. DC Ruby. No. Detective Comics 1072. No. Fables. Icon versus Hardware, number 4. No. Justice Society of America, 6. I'll probably continue reading this digitally, but not picking it up. Looney Tunes, no. Mad Magazine, Multiversity, Harley Screws Up the DCU, no. That's cool cover though. Poison Ivy 12. I think this is the last issue, or no, it's just still going
No,
on.
I think it's an ongoing series now.
Holy shit. Yeah, because I thought it was first it was 6, then it was 12, now it's just ongoing.
Yeah.
It must have been popular enough. Are you keeping up with this or what?
I might pick up, some decent covers here and there, but I'll try and keep on reading it.
That's a good one.
But until they get kind of Harley back in the story, this stuff with her kind of doing whatever she does,
yeah,
it gets old quick.
Superman Lost, no. Batman Scooby-Doo, no. Flash, no. Joker, Man Stop Laughing, no. Sandman Universe, Dead Boy Detectives, no. Tim Drake Robin, no. Waller versus Wildstorm, no. Wildcats, no. Wonder Woman, are you in on any of this or no?
I should be reading what's going on there. It's big things happening, but still nothing groundbreaking or anything,
Well, that's gonna do it for the
I covered out the last one. That's probably a ratio though.
That's gonna be doing it for the image solicitations, and then very quickly, let me just see here. Let me just bring up this for you guys. The image solicitations. There we go. Let me actually share the screen this time. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So image. Local Man. Oh, is this month? The hell? Yeah. Oops. I was like, I just read that. How's that
ahead of the curve?
Oh shit. So you know what? They are not up yet, actually. Which is weird. They are out, but I guess he hasn't loaded them up yet. So yeah, you guys will have to wait till next week for the image ones, but we will go over them when they do come out. So there you have it, guys. That's shout out to comicreleases.com. So next week we'll go over the image ones, maybe some more of these other publishers, because there is stuff that we read from there occasionally as well. And and also, you want to kind of maybe broaden your horizons. We can look into some stuff too, right? So
yeah.
All right. Very quickly then with that, what I was going to do with the solicitations, I do want to mention some new comic book news. I'm not even going to bother bringing up the article, but I'll just kind of let you guys know. Jonathan Hickman is returning to Marvel Comics, and he is bringing back the Marvel Ultimate Universe in a series that comes out in June with artist Brian Hitch, who previously launched the Ultimates 20 years ago or whenever, when the Ultimates universe began. Obviously, that started with the Ultimates, then it kind of went into Ultimate Spider-Man, which was a huge hit for them. That's where Miles came from. So this is a big deal for a lot of reasons. One, Jonathan Hickman, when he comes back to do books, he really shakes things up. And I guess now they want to they have the inclusion of the Ultimate Universe, which they kind of ended years ago as part of his fucking Secret Wars event. So this is kind of a big deal to a lot of people, let's say, that were fans of the Ultimate Universe and fans of Jonathan Hickman like I am. So yeah, I'm really excited for this, man. Did you read that article that I sent you?
I did read it, but like I said, this is sort of past my time, so I wasn't part of the Ultimates. And I'll be interested to see what's going on. I also read something. There's some contest of chaos or something, a summer event from Marvel with, I guess somehow they're going to get all the Marvel people to be fighting each other somehow.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Well, that's interesting.
I don't know if I read the article right, but I think Hickman's name might have been attached to it.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll have to look for that. What's it called? Contest of what?
I think it was supposedly loosely based on the Contest of Champions from a long time ago.
Yes,
and it was a contest of chaos or something like that. But basically that's I think was what I did read as the summer event.
Okay, that might be fun
this summer.
That might be fun. I don't know, man. I think you should take a chance on this thing, because even if you weren't a fan of the Ultimate Universe or knew much about it,
I'll definitely read about it. I'm sure it's going to pull me into something here and there.
I think this is going to be a big deal, because the last thing that he wrote that was a big deal was the X-Men, basically all the Krakoa shit that they have still going on to this point. So I feel like even if you weren't a big reader of the Ultimate stuff, you can get in on the ground floor for this event, the way you probably approach it. So I think it's just going to be one of the more talked about books. Whenever he kind of comes back and does something these days, they really kind of make a major push for backing the his ideas, right? So I don't know, I'm very excited for that one because I think it's gonna be great. So all right, guys. Chris, what are you picking up or reading next week? I should say
next week. Yeah, I got that up over here. I don't think it was a very big list. Ooh. I think it's Hallows Eve 1, maybe Spider-Man 6, Venom 17, Harley Quinn 27, Punchline 5.
Yeah, not a big for me either. I mean, there might be some things I might read digitally that I just didn't have the written down here, so we'll see what ends up popping up next week, guys. But Batman versus Robin 5, Harley Quinn 27, Human Target 12, the last issue.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely read that. Just I've been in on that story near the end there. I've got to finish that off.
Yeah, Phantom Road #1, which is a new Image series from Jeff Lemire that I'm really looking forward to, and Spider-Man, was it 7 or 6? The Jan
yeah,
Slott.
6, 7, yeah, I think it's 6, but
6, that one too. So yeah, and that's it for me. Yeah, that's only 5 that I have here. So we'll see what ends up. Maybe if there's some other things that look interesting to me there, we might check them out. But yeah,
speed round going.
Yeah, exactly. Stay tuned for that, guys. All right, though, everyone. What was our favorite book of the week this week, Chris?
I don't know. It's a tough one.
I think it's very clear. It was the only 5 I gave out today. Mine is going to be Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 12. As I mentioned, was just a delight to read. Was a hell of a lot of fun. The most fun I had reading comics this week. So was in that issue. And I think this was a pretty decent week. I liked this week of comics. So I'm going to give it to that book. Shout out to Batman, Superman. And I don't think we've picked that as favorite of the week since the series started. So I was happy to see that.
If I bought that issue, maybe, but I'm going to go with Superman #1.
Nice.
Just because looking through it, it really, after reading it online and then looking through it, it really wowed me there. And that art there, I don't know who the artist is. Is that Mark Waid or
Joel Campbell? Mark Waid is right. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
It's really good. Yeah, so
I don't think he'll be buying the rest of it, but decent first issue.
Yeah, it was good setup. So we'll see where it goes. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today, though. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Late Night Collectors Community, and stay tuned for more Comics Talk on Comic Shop. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Later.
All right, cheers.